So I'm Seven Smalls, also known as the Kosher Clinician on my YouTube channel, and I'm here supporting Black Men's Travels and also BMO as we seek to give guys outcomes outside of the contextual framework of America. I've been, doing and more or less collaborating with Aaron for a while now, and I told Aaron when I came down I was going to take the opportunity to come down and show him some love as I was celebrating with the BMO brothers as they were more or less commemorating the death and the life of Charles Tyler. And so it's an honor to meet Aaron. Aaron's a very affable guy, very kind, very down to earth. And we're on a mission to empower Black men to understand that they have options outside of America, and they're not limited to the mental fragmentation that often goes on and the challenges that beset many American men within the country.
Right now, currently, we are here in Rio. How you enjoying yourself so far?
Well, listen, this is my second time back, Brother Aaron. I came back in May. But I'm really enjoying myself. The culture, the people, the Afro-Brazilians, the food, it's been a great experience, having fellowship with some of the brothers, meeting guys from different parts of the country. And it's been a great trip and a great adventure, something that can be very cathartic based on the shows that you and I have talked about for a lot of the Black men suffering from affection deprivation back in America.
And let me ask you this. What is the importance of environment in consideration of relationships and what's the word? Excuse me. Like health, like mental health. What's the importance of environment?
Right. So Aaron, there's a such thing in the clinical world. We call it the biopsychosocial spiritual model. And there's an assessment instrument that we use. It's called, for the children, we call it the Cal Locus. That's the child LLS level of utilization system. But then for adults, we have a system called the locus. That's the level of care utilization system. And so environment is very important, because if you're in a very negative environment where it's not balanced, and when the resources are not there, it can actually increase or reduce the recovery process with mental illness. And so when you see very magnificent scenes like Brazil, it's good for the mind because it's very cathartic. It allows you to relax, it allows you to focus, and it allows you to reflect on the things that are necessary. And so when you go back home a lot of time, not only sometimes it's the inner city or wherever you live in, that the environment is very toxic, which impacts the mind, but also many times a lot of our men that come from single parent homes, they don't have the resources to feel safe and feel masculine in their environment as well. Based on research, children that are in environments where they feel safe tend to have better outcomes. And Aaron, you know that many kids and back home, especially young Black boys, many are in families where they're not safe. They're in a dualistic role where they're expected to be, quote unquote, the son husband, which in essence impacts them mentally and more or less put them in a position where they can't be children or being young men, and their development is arrested. So environment is paramount to helping a man become masculine, but also helping him feel safe. And unfortunately, many of our children are in environments where they can't feel safe because the environment is not conducive to long-term sustainability.
Okay, interesting. And are there any effects as far as the climate is concerned when it comes to therapeutic health? What I mean is, if it's places like Seattle and London where it rains a lot and it's a little bit more gloomy.
Right.
Does that have more of a direct effect on your mental mindset versus you being in an environment like Rio where it's more tropical?
Yes, excellent question. So you're right. So there's a such thing, Aaron, called seasonal affective disorder, right? And so seasonal affective disorder, normally when the fall and the winter time comes, it can impact your mind. Based on research, places like Seattle where it's constantly raining, rain symbolizes gloom and doom. So people in those areas are often under attack for having depressive symptoms, because Seattle is a very gloomy city. Also very cold weather cities where that's devoid of sunlight tend to have it can impact a person mentally. But when you come to a place like Rio or Baratajuca, where there's plenty of sunlight, good air, it's powerful for the psyche of a person. That's why it's good for men to travel. It's good for men to get outside of their environment and see cultures that are different than theirs, but also, Aaron, cultures that are synonymous to helping them improve their mental health and their mental acumen. So yes, all of that plays a role in the mental health of a man. And that's why I said one of the 7 steps that a man must go through in order to become optimized is world travel. World travel will help optimize and calibrate the mental health of a Black man and all men when they get the opportunity to travel abroad. So that's an excellent question.
Perfect.